Live.
Hello, everyone. Are we live?
My screen hasn't.
There
My
we
live
are.
hasn't pulled up yet.
Mine just did. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing today? We got Greeter in the house, Silver, JR, Snow Wolf, Vivian, Stone Marble. We got Greeter in the house, Silver, JR, Snow Wolf. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
I was muting
Make
it.
sure it wasn't me.
I was trying to get it.
Well, I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm so excited to be jumping on live for the first time.
There we go.
We got Rochelle, Stacy Starr, Constance. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. All our peeps are here.
Sorry, me and Kathy were chatting a little bit. We were being a little chatty, so we were running a little late, but
yeah, we text each other most of the time. So when we actually get to see each other face to face, we get really nutty.
Hi, Cecile, Pamela. I hope everyone's doing well today. I was going to say that Kathy should introduce herself, but I feel like she is.
I know most everybody. I
here.
don't know Stone Marble. It's nice to meet you. And I've seen Cecile in other chats. She hasn't found me yet. Hi, JR. Rochelle and I are friends. Hi, Vivian. Stacy Star's a new one to me. Nice to meet you all. Teresa, right. Which is Greeter. Hi, Silver. I haven't seen you in a while. Hi, Mims.
All right. Well, Kathy, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell everybody about your journey.
Well, I'm a psychic medium. I have been psychic all my life, as long as I can remember. I'm dropping cards. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. My most vivid, when I really started noticing my abilities was when I hit about 12, the puberty age, when it becomes really apparent. And I started having visions of everybody in my family, different people that were getting ready to cross over. And so, you know, as a child, you try to save everybody, and then you take it personally and carry that for years with you. It was when I lost my closest uncle, and I had seen that I had gone in and saw him in the hospital after he had a massive heart attack. And he died 30 minutes after I left his room. So I didn't go to the hospital intentionally. And I ended up there. A bunch of my cousins and I had gone out to the movies, and they stopped by the hospital because all our parents were at the hospital, and we were just getting out of the drive-in, and they left me there. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I turned my ringer off. Maybe I didn't.
Mims, I'm not sure how to do the moderator while I'm live yet. I was trying to work on it earlier and was with no luck, but I will make you a moderator once I figure it out.
There we go. I lost my screen. Anyways,
you're back.
In real life, I had gone. My uncle had talked me into going in and talking to him, and he told me all about God and spirituality, and he talked to me an hour and a half, and very, very wonderful last moment. I left, he died 30 minutes later.
Wow.
And I carried that into my mid-20s, and I was upset one day talking to my mom, and I said, well, you know, it's all my fault Uncle Richard died, because had I not gone in and seen him, 12-year-old head, he would have lived. My 12-year-old head said, my seeing him fulfilled that prophecy. And my mom busted out laughing. And she said, Kathy, you're not that powerful.
Right.
And I didn't think of it as power, but she said, honey, he had a massive heart attack. He had a blockage in his aortic valve, and it had burst open.
Yeah.
And he was that they replaced the valve, but he never recovered. And I told her all the conversation I had with him and everything, and she says, that didn't happen. I said, yeah, it was. I was in there for an hour and a half. This is what he told me. And she says, well, that's Uncle Richard's words, but that didn't happen. He was on a respirator. He was on life support. He had tubes down his throat. All of a sudden, I had this flash memory of being in the room with him. And I was like, oh my God, he did. How did I have that conversation? But it has stuck with me all my life.
Right.
And yeah, I had that conversation. It was a telepathic conversation.
Yep.
It was my final moment with him.
Well, at least you were able to have that beautiful moment with him.
And it's still like I can hear him telling me all about spiritualism. And he was telling me, never let anybody lead you to believe that you have to go to a church to be spiritual. God is within us all, is what he kept on telling me. And so that stuck with me. And I think that's where it led me to my path, moving away from organized religion and into spiritualism. And yeah, so it's been a neat journey. My mom was very psychic, and she groomed my psychic abilities without ever saying, hey, you're psychic. And she never pointed it out. Right. She just taught me how to ground myself, helped me learn to read my own psychic dreams. I did a lot of studying on dream analysis and stuff like that, because I was very much a psychic dreamer as a child. And then from there, I played with tarot in my early 20s. And I just sort of tossed them aside. They were sort of boring. Didn't get into it. And then with COVID and retirement,
pulled back into it
and all that, I started meditating a lot. And we moved into a new house and started watching Linda G and Marianne, and then sort of got to know other readers, and like we all did, and branched out from there. And then Scott Allen invited me on. I had made comments in the background on several of his shows, and he noticed how intuitive I was. And he told me, you should come on sometime and read. And we started, talking back and forth behind the scenes, and became friends behind the scenes. And finally, I took him up on it and did my very first live reading, which was with him, Debbie, and Andrea. Nice. And that was wild. It was wild, just being pulled into all that energy. And Andrea and Debbie are of such high vibrational levels that it was just amazing. And from there, I just had a bigger awakening, and I got in touch with my guides, and it just unfolded, and I started channeling, and it just, my awakening, my full awakening has been an amazing journey. And you're always calling me the chronic meditator.
Isn't it awesome how so many people were brought together and started their own channels because of Linda G and Violetta
and we're connected? Yeah. But the group I vibrate with the best is our tribe, with Debbie Freeberg and Karen Sage, and that seems to be the clique that we all seem to be pulled in that whole circle there, of that group of readers.
We're all one big spiritual family.
And we're one big, very supportive, big spiritual family. And I've become friends with almost all the readers offline. And we're just a wonderful group of people. We're all giving the same message.
I remember you reaching out to me, and
I was trying to get you in our practice group. I recognized the talent before you even started admitting you had it.
I was just helping out with doing my own little readings and with the chat, and me and you connected. And then I had been told by my guides that I was going to start my channel, and I fought them with it for a couple of years.
You and I both.
And then finally, I just did it. And I remember you telling me that you were surprised that I didn't even give anybody a heads up. I just went out there and just started it.
I know. It totally floored me, because I know when we started talking, you were so shy. So you jumping on live really surprised me.
Yeah, I'm excited for our first live today with the channel, getting it all tested and getting comfortable with that. Hopefully we have a lot more here to come.
And of course, we've discovered that
I've been getting a lot more comfortable jumping on with you on Sundays with you
were
and Sharon
brother and
too.
sister in a former life in the 20s. I had a psychic dream about us, and he called me right as I woke up, and I went, I just had a dream. You were laying in bed with me, and you go, no. And I'm like, no, not like that.
Right.
No. We were kids. We were brother. And I told you about the dream, and you go, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it resonated with me when you told me that.
Yeah. And that's just when we started talking one-on-one and stuff, that's the bond I have with you. I feel like you're my little brother. And it's funny because in my psychic dream, you looked very much like you do now.
Oh, really?
Just 7.
It was 7, yeah.
7-year-old version of you. But yeah, it was a neat dream. He was such a sweetheart too. He still is.
I have my moments.
You're just a sweetheart.
We got a couple more joiners in that I want to say hi to. We got Connie Brown and Ron. I saw Jay was in. Gina M. Sheila Inquisitive Tarot. Hello.
Herc 213. Hey, baby Jay. Oh, Ron, Unconditional Love's here.
Yes, Mims. I didn't have a beard in Kathy's dream.
No. But he had those beautiful blue-green eyes. Same eyes.
The beard is something that came from me not working with since the pandemic. I was like, I need something new, and I love it.
It's really it's your COVID rebellion. Beard. Yeah, your COVID beard.
But no, I was never a fan of facial hair before, but I feel like it fits. So,
Jolisa, how do you say? Jolisa.
Jolisa, hello and welcome.
Hello. I love the way you spell your name. That's neat.
As I lose more hair on the top of my head, I figured I can grow it out down here.
Replacement hair.
Yeah.
To draw the eye down away from the top of the head.
Right. Maybe one day I'll just have them transplant it.
Oh, that would be funny.
All right. Well, today we're going to be doing some political, spiritual, even some personal readings. We're going to just go with the flow in real time. So if you want to send a question, you can write your question in all caps, maybe put a couple hearts next to it to catch my attention. And yeah, me and Kathy will answer some of your questions.
Well, we should both tell them when we were discussing two political questions before we went live. Mm-hmm. The first one is, yes, Bannon will be arrested.
Yeah.
They're going to make an example of him for failing to appear on a subpoena and failing to provide documents. He will totally go. He'll spill the beans. He'll give him everything.
I feel he's angry with Trump too. He's definitely. I think if he went out and bashed Trump right now, it would play against his own base. So I don't think he necessarily wants to do that. But he's not happy with Trump, and he will most definitely spill the beans on him. And
but he's going to do it partly to get that revenge directly towards Trump, and partly to try to save his own skin. But I do see him doing some prison time. So he's not going to come out unscathed. He may not do as much as we think he should, but he will be going to jail. In fact, the whole lot of that 4 are going to jail. They're all going to be facing charges. But the other ones aren't going. They're going to use him as an example to get the other ones in without having to do the arrests and the subpoenas.
I just clicked on that because I saw that and we could talk about that, but we can finish talking about what we were talking about earlier.
And the other one we were talking about was one that I had been pondering in my head, and I had made a comment. I think it was either Sterling and Linda or Mel and Linda's show. Mm-hmm. And it was the Texas product coming up. And I had asked Kevin about it this morning because I'm seeing that the vision I've been having is this is going to backfire so badly on Texas and Trump. What's going to come out of that is there was so much gerrymandering with the voting system, the electronic voting system, that when they do the recounts, it's going to go from him taking it by a landslide, Trump taking it by a landslide, to it balancing closer to, they're not even sure who won now. And they'll never get the numbers to match up because they've destroyed ballot information and stuff like that. But it's also going to reveal that there's an issue with the voting machines in Texas. And they're going to end up having to go in and forensically look at the actual machines. And I think it's the feds are going to step in and take a look at the voting machines because the numbers aren't even.
There's many states where the voting machines are messed up. McConnell and Susan Collins should not have been reelected.
From what actually was reported in it originally, that it's going to lead them to say something's wrong with those machines because they can't recreate the numbers.
My guides also always told me that Texas should have went blue that last election, and Florida should have just narrowly went blue. And yeah, there were a lot of ballots thrown out. As we know, the mail system was all messed up, and like we're talking about now, there's something in the voting machines that change people's votes or gets rid of their votes. Like you're saying, they won't have the numbers. What they're going to see
is the numbers aren't going to jive because when they do the recounts, the machine doesn't know which ones it changed. It doesn't have anyway. It's a random thing. You know, it's like playing the slot machine. They're electronic. They're coded. They're electronic. They wouldn't be able to go back and put that same programming in the next time because it's a random fix. And then you mentioned Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah, definitely.
We both see a lot of just literally missing ballots.
Well, Miami-Dade and Broward are always very strong Democratic counties in southern Florida, and they were coming up red this year. And that right there is a red flag.
Yeah. I think
somebody said, I can't remember who. I think it was Whimsy said that she saw like hundreds of thousands of ballots being thrown into the ocean.
Yeah, so I think that was Whimsy. I think it was Whimsy that did say that. But yeah, I agree with all of that. I do see referrals going out after the 1/6 commission on all the cabinet members that are going up for election right now. And if I ever manage to get my camera turned on for the reading I've been planning on doing, I have a list of the Dirty Dozen that will be subpoenaed soon.
Yes, I always felt around a dozen people getting in a lot of trouble.
I have the list. I actually pulled the list of the people that were involved with the
I'm feeling congressional or Senate people that were involved. Yeah, I feel at around 12 people. Give or take two or
on this list, so we could record it together.
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
Yeah, I've got like 6-7 pages of notes.
we can investigate.
He wrote me yesterday and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, well." I said, I'm working.
We just need to, when we start talking, just need to go live because me and you have so many conversations where
we read all the time.
We have so many predictions that don't get posted because we just talk and stuff comes up.
We need to start talking on Zoom.
That's what I'm saying.
So we can record it and then we can always go through and edit it and make it a program.
Yeah.
As soon as
so what do you think? What do you think about Kristen Sinema? Is she being blackmailed or bribed? I'm feeling bribed.
Bribed.
For sure. I don't feel she's blackmailed.
For sale.
She's for sale.
She is for sale. She's not even being bribed. She's for sale. She's marketing it.
And to be honest with you, I don't even think that she really cares if she's reelected because she's making so much money from all these Republican donors.
She's getting back pocket payments. That's going to catch up with her. She's not only pulling donations in, but they're giving her money under the table too for her own pocket.
Oh yeah, for
buying her vote and patting her pockets, and she's
I don't even think she cares about the campaign fundraising money. She wants to line her own pockets. I feel like
every donation comes with a lining.
Yeah. I feel like she didn't have a lot of money before she got in the Senate. So now she's kind of really money hungry, power hungry. So she'll do anything to undermine the Democrats, but she won't be reelected.
Well, she'll
be primaried.
Her and Manchin are both feeling very, very powerful because right now they're holding the Democratic Party by the balls, so to speak. Come 2022, they have no more power. She's not up for election until 26. And
she'll be primaried out.
They're going to force her out.
They'll primary her out.
They're going to sanction her. They can't sanction her right now or Munchkin because if they do, they give everything to the Republican Party and we won't get anything done. So they need to manipulate them to vote along with the Democrats.
What do you feel about Manchin for re-election? Because I feel like he's going to get in. I feel like he'll get back in.
See, I think he's gone. I think West Virginia is looking. I heard Linda G. I think I watched it this morning or in the middle of the night last night when I got up. She had made a comment that he's floating on the boat on his yacht going into.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
West Virginia, and they're riding alongside to greet him in their kayaks. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, they're flatboat fishing boats, and half of them, the motors don't work. So, and I sort of agree. I think if he does make it, it's because he's cheated.
Well, I think he's going to just barely get by, but I feel like a lot of Republicans vote for him in that state. It's a very heavily Republican state.
Well, technically, he is a Republican, and they see him as a Republican.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like he may be okay. There's not a lot of Democrats in that state.
But it's the people that are he's not doing anything for the people of his state. He doesn't even want, as far as he's concerned, he doesn't even think any social help should be there for his state.
Well, and he doesn't care about the cleaning up the environment or anything. Being in West Virginia, it's a coal state, so that's what I'm saying.
He's heavily invested into coal. He hasn't diversified himself from that, and he's made a lot of money on dividends from profits from his coal, and that's the people are becoming very aware of it. He's going to lose voters on those notes. That and the fact that he's not willing to sign an infrastructure bill that will give their state jobs.
He will eventually, but
I think he will. But
I think, will eventually.
I think
they're going to bring the price tag way down. I think him and Sinema will both come into agreement, but I'm feeling the numbers more around like 2.2.
Yeah,
it's just over $2 billion.
Between 2.2 and 2.7, someplace right in there.
I think it's going to be around 2.2. It's going to be closer to 2.
Biden set the number so high because he knew they were going to come down. So
and progressives already compromised. Their original plan was like $6.5 to $10 trillion, and they've come way down.
Well, but after 2022, this is phase one of a multi-phase infrastructure build-up.
Come in. You're okay. Hello, visitor.
She's pretty.
His name's Cooper.
Oh, that's Cooper.
Yes, Cooper. And then, of course, my other little one. He doesn't like seeing himself in mirrors or anything. But this is Mr. George. This is my baby.
That's your baby.
I've had him for almost 10 years now.
Wow. He looks really healthy.
Go lay down and behave. Go lay down and behave. Go.
Kevin may need to get up and let his dogs out if they start acting up.
Yeah, I said I might have to mute because they hear a mouse fart down the road and they start barking, especially George.
Yeah. I think everybody online's used to everybody with pets because we all have them.
They're little angels.
Yeah, I shut my office door so I don't end up with if I set up in the dining room. I have 4 chairs on my dining room table. I'll have a cat in every chair.
Right.
And then Tucker will decide that he wants to lay on my keyboard and make his appearance. Because he's the one that feels the energy the most.
Mm-hmm.
And and if I'm reading politics, he's there. He's in the middle.
Oh, animals are very intuitive.
Very intuitive.
Even my my Reiki master that taught me my first my level 1 Reiki class, she has a Reiki cat that will come in while she's doing Reiki sessions and give Reiki from afar.
Yeah, Tucker comes in when I'm having problems with my pancreas, and he'll come in and lay on my pancreas where it hurts and meet it, which really hurts. What he's doing is he's giving me that healing love. It's what his intentions are.
So yeah, we definitely know when we're upset or if we don't feel good. I always have
him that he really doesn't need to lay on my stomach.
Right.
Here, cuddle next to me. That's better. Just purr. Give me that meditative purr.
So George, I believe is he's a long-haired Chihuahua and a Jack Russell Terrier mix. I'm thinking he's about 12 years old. Cooper's an Australian cattle dog, like a blue heeler type coloring, long hair.
Reminds me of my
They're good boys.
I love I had an Australian Shepherd. I just absolutely loved him.
My husband always had Australian Shepherds. So when we saw Cooper on Facebook, some lady had just gotten him from the Amish and couldn't take care of him because she actually drove for the Amish. And so she was never around to take care of him, and he was just a pup. So we took him. My husband loves Australian Shepherds and cattle dogs.
We lived on a ranch.
By Mims.
And ours herded the cows, herded the horses, herded the chickens, herded the. He got to do morning chores with me and run out in there and bring all the animals in to be fed. He was a good dog. I went no place on my property without him underfoot. So, yeah.
Let's see. If anybody else has a question that they'd like us to look at, I'm scrolling, but I think we're all just having fun hanging out.
Mims had to go.
Yeah, she said she might be back on in a little bit.
Well, if you don't make it back, have a good day.
Yes. Thanks for stopping by. And if you're not subscribed to either me or Kathy, Kathy's channel is Kathy's Guided Light Tarot. She's an awesome reader. I jump on her channel often on Sundays, and we do a lot of mini readings.
Sharon, the Sunday regular with Kevin and Sharon both, and we're talking about rotating it.
Yeah.
Through the channels. No reason for just one of us to do it.
Right.
So we'll probably.
I'm no longer a live virgin anymore, so we can have it on my channel. We can rotate. I kept telling Kevin, you can do your readings, the ones you record live. You don't have to take the questions. You can still do your readings live. Yeah, it was a comfort thing, but I feel more open to it jumping on with you and Sharon. And I've had a couple other collabs. I know I jumped on with Ron and Maya from Black Cat. So it's just getting out of my comfort zone. And I know when I go on by myself and do a live and just a quick reading, I talk faster. It's like, and I'm like, that should have taken me at least 20 minutes. Why did I get through it in 10? And I'm like, I need to slow down my speech. And it's because I'm a little nervous. Yeah. Well, and it's a lot easier too when you have some banter between like two other people and, but it is definitely very hard to really focus in on the energy and getting in tune while you're chatting with somebody else, or the chat's going on and you're trying to keep up with that. It's very difficult to run all three things at the same time. Yeah, and the way I read, if I start slipping into if I start channeling or anything, I literally cannot see the text. My brain, I know it's there. I can see the words moving, but my brain cannot take that language and put it and translate. It's hard for me. I feel like I can't when I do a lot of my pre-recorded videos, I've already focused on that energy beforehand and meditated on it, so I can get a clear vision while I'm doing it, and I'll write notes sometimes and look over it. While I'm doing like a live, I feel like it's very hard for me to fully go all the way over to really tap into that energy because I need to be connected to the chat.
But if it's a compounded question, which we never get from our viewers, or they ask 2 or 3 questions rolled into one.
Yeah.
If I concentrate, I try not to look at the whole question. I say, what part of that question is the most important? Do you want me to touch base on? Because if I jump in that whole question, I'm end up in a channel. And then I can't, it takes me a few minutes to ground back out. Mm-hmm. And focus on the next question. And those compounded questions, I love reading them, but they're better for private readings.
Yeah, I agree.
Where I could actually jump in really in depth on them and give you a really full-blown reading, because there's so much information, and you sort of have to cut spirit off on. They have more to say, but you're like, yeah, this is a different forum. But we're not doing
and it's different too, because if in a private reading, you can really meditate on all of that, and you're not right on the spot giving an answer. So, well, Deb, sending you good luck on your interview.
Where I ask my guys to meet their parties and bring them together. Mm-hmm. And then because it's an open channel, and the person coming in is really open, the connection is just so in depth, and it's much easier too, because while you're doing it live, you're getting all the different energies from the collective group. Right. And so, and I'll pick up on other people's thoughts and stuff while I'm reading too. So Stone Marble asks, will my sister be able to move with me when I move? And I'm feeling yes. I heard it yes. Right as you read it. When I read it, I've definitely felt yes. So can you do color auras around somebody? I'm not really tapped into that unless I'm doing Reiki and I see them in person. I have to see you to see the auras, and I don't see everybody's auras. It just depends. Yeah, same. I feel the colors. The colors are vibrations for me. I see the colors as a vibration. I'm a light worker, and it's very similar to the Reiki. I know you and I have had extensive conversations about the Reiki versus the light work. It's very, very similar, but yet it has some differences. But yes, it's a vibrational pattern that we feel and see in the light when we work with them, and we're conduits. We're not the healers. We're the conduits for the healings from the divine. It's the same with Reiki. I think there's a lot of misconception with people that thinks, oh, you're a healer. No, I can't walk around and touch people and instantly heal them. No. Well, and you know what, though, too? We are merely the conduits. The person that is getting the treatment is the one healing themselves. Well, we're holding that space. Open to we're holding the space for them. Mm-hmm. And it's up to them to receive that energy for their healing that they need. Yeah. Oh, one thing I do want to say, I was talking with Suzanne and Wayne yesterday, and we were talking about our cancers, because Suzanne is also is a survivor of cancer, and I was talking about to Suzanne and Wayne about my PET scans that I had where my PET scans, I had 2 PET scans that were showing positive for cancer. But I hadn't had the biopsies, and it's taken me like 1.5 years to get the biopsies. And I know everybody in the collective, in our tribe, has been sending love and prayers and notes for me. And I appreciate it, because the last PET scan I had still was showing the cancer. There's a pre-op PET scan I had right before I went in. It had disappeared. And when they did the biopsies, it had disappeared. I had no cancer. But it was really dominant on the 2 prior PET scans. And I said to Wayne, who's an extremely strong medium, I got some really good downloads about Wayne's abilities last night from his mentor. But he said, yeah, it's the power of prayer that healed you. And I said, exactly. That's what I was feeling. I was feeling like everybody in the collective sent me so much love, so much Reiki. that by the time I went in to get the biopsies, it was gone. So thank everybody. I do appreciate that. It was a
Power of prayer works.
long journey, but everybody in our group is just so supportive and wonderful.
Yeah.
So I just want another big thanks to everybody.
It's that positive energy that comes with prayers, and we can do that for ourselves too.
Mm-hmm. And
just raising your vibration.
So positive. I've just left this in God's hands. You know.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "You're so calm." I said, "Well, I win either way. I get cancer, I die, I go back home.
Yeah, we never really die.
I survive it. I do the work here. Either way, I'll do the work from one side or the other. I'm already working on both sides anyways. So it's just
our guides take us when they need us.
To the next level.
Yeah. When our work here is done is when we can go home.
Yep. So I know that I don't fear. That's not in my fear book. I don't fear that. I fear the dark. I don't know why, because there's nothing in the dark that's to be afraid of either. It's a childhood thing.
Yeah, same. Debo, I told her that I was sending her some good vibes for her interview Friday, and I feel like it's going to go well. What do you pick up from that?
Oh, yeah. And if they're doing a second interview, the second call you get is going to be the higher interview. So they may ask you to come in for the interview, but when you hit the second interview, that's the higher one.
Silver asked if her spiritual work is my spiritual work helping my ancestors also.
Work that you direct that way does.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's very hard to it's hard to kind of explain, but the concept of time too, with our past, present, and future all happening at once, that energy that you put out definitely affects all three. So I can definitely see how your spiritual work would be helping your ancestors also.
So anytime you're touching in an area that is a healing lesson for somebody that's already crossed over on the other side, or it's something that's carried through your family lineage of your contracts, that's going to change that energy level. And yes, it does help the ancestral line. I know it's hard to explain. When you're working with others, you're tying into their energies in that line. When you're working with concepts of family stuff or inner work, your meditations and all that, that definitely has a huge impact on your soul family, your immediate soul family. Your prayers, I have a ritual that I say an Ascension Prayer for everybody in my family, my ancestors that's passed before me. And to allow, and part of that prayer is I ask that they're allowed to gain strength and knowledge and to ascend to a higher vibrational level. That's just something I've integrated into my routine over the years. Been doing it a long time. And so when I started getting messages from my guide thanking me for the work I do with the ascension on the other side, that's what I thought they were talking about. What I didn't know was I've been working on the other side a long time, and now they're showing me the work
we do a lot of work in our sleep.
And we do a lot of work in our sleep. And I'm actually, and as I start doing private readings and healing readings, and my guides are telling me you need to talk to this person, just reach out to them and do a reading for them. And what happens is I'm doing healing work for that person, working through something that they were dealing with. But in the process, I'm healing my own soul too, because there's something in me that needed that healing too. So it's like a double-edged sword. I'm taking care of two things at one time. And then my guide started showing me doing this on the other side. And I've been working with people that have already crossed over, that they're going through their transition, their life review. And I'm doing light work at the end of the light review, doing, I'm healing what they call fragmentations. For instance, if you're carrying a broken heart and your heart's shattered and fragmented, I'm doing that light work and helping them heal that and mend that so that they can move to a higher vibration through their
helping them with the transitional process.
And it's that final transition part, and that's what they're now showing me. And it is the most amazing work, and now I understand why I'm up off and on all night.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember my dreams very often because I'm very restless, but I feel like I'm doing work and that's what's making my body restless.
And
you
then
know what I
I'll wake
mean?
up exhausted, like
Not
I
very
haven't
rested.
had a night's sleep.
Same.
And usually that's because I've been really busy on the other side that night. And now it makes sense because I'm actually seeing what I'm doing in my guide. I'm working one-on-one with my guide doing that. And I don't know how to explain it completely to people. Usually easier to explain it to like Kevin and I because of our connection. And that he understands that there's sometimes not words on this side for what we do on that side.
Right, yeah.
Because it's not built into
because we can't comprehend it as humans.
Yeah. But I also
I saw your question, Sadie. Yours is going to be next. Deb said that this is her second interview, and I have a very good feeling. I'm feeling like she's going to be hired.
This is a higher interview than you've got.
Yeah, I feel so too.
Yeah.
Sadie M asked how many grandchildren she will have, and I'm feeling 2.
Definitely 2. That's what they're wanting.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean they don't actually have an extra.
I'm feeling 2 right now. I mean, that can always change, but
2 planned grandchildren. After that, they make it a surprise. If they get a surprise, it'll be like a 5-year gap.
Yeah, I feel like if there's any more, it's a little whiles off.
And it won't be planned. It'll be surprise. You didn't know you wanted me.
KS asks, will my son ever get married?
Yes.
I feel yes, but I feel it's a while off.
Way off.
Yeah, it feels way off. I think it's so much easier doing like the mediumship kind of answering for questions. I mean, if we need to pull out tarot cards.
And you and I, our energy is just like instant.
Yeah, we work really well off each other's energy.
It's like we have this great big, antenna.
It's that vibration coming off here. We're connected.
Drawing it in. Just think how much better we're going to be when I move a few miles away from you.
Delicia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. I'm probably not. I'm sorry. She wants you to explain more about the work in doing work and sleep, and she's just trying to learn about this. We're all doing different work, and most of I feel like everybody in our community is definitely light workers, so we're definitely doing work on the other side. I can tell you right
now that my guides are telling me you are working with your guides on the other side right now, Felicia. You're getting a lot of downloads.
I'll be right back.
You're getting a lot of downloads. That buzzing in your ear that you like the music played too loud and you're getting that buzzing. Sometimes you're feeling a little dizzy once in a while. Your equilibrium's a little off. Those are all caused from downloads. And if they get really irritating to you, just ask your guides to slow it down because the information is coming in so fast that you're not, it's throwing you off. And they will slow that down in that sound level that you hear, that ringing in your ears, or however you're receiving that, that throws you off a bit. They'll slow that down and you'll balance better. You're not always meant to understand what the downloads are. Sometimes you'll get flashes and images and things like that with many times you won't. Sometimes they're just doing a biological adjustment to us because they're preparing us to move from third dimension to fourth dimension into fifth dimension. Yeah. And part of that shifting is getting us from being it's opening us up spiritually. It's opening us up more intuitively. So we're getting more messages. You'll start understanding the more you open up, the more you'll start understanding your messages, guides, and all those messages. One of the best things you can do, and I always get in arguments with people on this, is you need to meditate. You need to make time in your day to meditate. Even Kevin and I have gone through this together. And I said, well, do it before you get out of bed. As you wake up in the morning, start that meditation. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you go back to bed, do a meditation till you fall asleep, and that meditation will bring you back to sleep.
And that is actually the best time to meditate to get answers, when you're in that half asleep state, because your mind's not overworking itself, and that's the key to meditation and to get your downloads. Yeah, the clutter's off. You're out of it. You're kind of like in a dream state already. That's a really good time to really talk to your spirit guides or develop your psychic hits. Like I said, I shared my psychic hit about I saw a bomb, and for some reason I just knew it was for Donald Trump, and on the timer it had 16 on it, and 16 days will be on Thursday when the January 6th Commission has their first testimonies. And when I realized that, it really clicked with me that I feel something big and explosive is coming for Trump.
I think he has a rally that day too.
Could be that too. I didn't feel like it was a literal bomb. It felt like a metaphor. It's not going to hurt
anybody. It's going to be a distraction.
Oh, are you picking up an actual bomb? Because I was feeling it was more of a metaphor, like
I think it's a metaphoric bomb, but whatever's going on that day, everything's he's got this going on to distract from that. Because that's why he functions anyways, chaos. He has to cause a little chaos off on this side while the real stuff's going on.
For distraction, right.
Yeah.
I would also say to the question, you explained it really well. A lot of us are doing different things and have different purposes. And with the earth going into higher densities, a lot of us are doing a lot of that work in our sleep. A lot of us are working with the angelic realm to help protect the earth and sacred areas in the earth. A lot of us are healing like you do, help people transition. There's a lot of different jobs that we can do in our sleep on our spiritual journey. Are you still there, Kathy? It looks like Kathy froze on us. Mercury retrograde. It's always a fun time. Connie, you are the bombshell, let me tell you. All right. I'm sure Kathy will be right back on with us so we can all hang out and chat. Yeah, it's definitely very interesting, and it's great that Kathy remembers her spiritual work that she does in her sleep. I do not, but I very rarely feel like I do dream, but I don't remember them, or really I don't lucid dream too often. I have had quite a few psychic dreams, but I think especially lately I'm just very restless. I almost have like a shaken leg syndrome while I sleep, so I never feel like I fully sleep. I'm so glad that you joined us, Debo. I'm definitely having a lot of fun hanging out with Kathy and all of you. So maybe this will be a new thing for us. Maybe we'll go live once a week. Oh, Connie, I'm just saying you could definitely be the bombshell as well. Kathy's back. She's coming back right now.
Hi, I'm sorry.
Welcome back.
I'm on a MacBook and my magnetic cord
Did disconnect?
It disconnected and my battery drained.
Do you want to hear something funny, Connie Brown? I thought I misunderstood her. She said, I could be a bombshell. I said, yes, you're a bombshell. You're going to take down Trump.
No, Connie's totally a bombshell.
She said, oh, I meant it could be a bombshell on the 12th. Ha ha.
No, I think it's you, Connie. Trump just knows to stay out of Tucson.
I don't know how interested you're in this question, but somebody wants to know about Nicki Minaj's husband, so I guess we can do a little bit of pop culture.
I don't even know who Nicki Minaj is.
She's a rapper.
Yeah.
But
I'm 57. Yeah. I'm not a little ways from the rap scene.
So her husband has an extensive criminal record. Do you believe her husband was falsely accused, or is he guilty? And I feel like he's definitely guilty of a lot of crimes.
He's guilty.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not exactly what he was accused of. Maybe part of that's fabricated, but he's not innocent.
No, definitely not.
Part of what they're saying is very true. Part of it's fabricated.
Was there I
like doing blind readings on people I don't know.
I think that there was, I'm not entirely sure, so I could be wrong, but I feel like there was like a sexual predator kind of charges against him. And that I feel like he was guilty of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a bit of a pedophile. They're not young girls, they're like teens.
Yeah.
Tween teens, that type. They're starting to look like women. They're not children.
All right. Somebody wants to know about will Joe Biden stay healthy?
Yes. He's not getting enough rest.
I was going to say he's very stressed out.
Tired.
I mean, anybody would be in that position, but he's very tired and very overly stressed out. I feel like
he needs some downtime. He needs to take a weekend. He's working through the weekends. He's working.
He's been so busy trying to get the country back together and get it going. He's definitely been really overworking himself and not sleeping very much. And that's with the stuttering and the speeches that aren't the best. That's where that stems from. Because when he feels more rested in his energy, he doesn't have that issue as bad.
Yeah, he can control it when he's not tired.
I feel he'll stay healthy,
but problem when I'm tired, my
same.
dyslexia kicks in, my ADD kicks in.
Yeah,
same thing.
I feel me and you talked about this earlier. Actually, I keep on going back and forth with it, with the energies kind of changing with his health. But I do feel that he will finish this term and start into his second term. He'll get reelected.
2 years.
And then, I'm feeling a year or two. Right? It's not very long after he's reelected.
Be the full 2 years. It's going to be pretty close to 2 years, and he's going to step aside.
But the energy keeps going back and forth whether he'll run.
He hasn't committed yet. That's why we keep on getting the energy flux. Because he's like, nah.
Regardless, even if he didn't decide to run again, I definitely see Kamala as our next president. When I saw her when she was when they won and she was announced the vice president and all that, I just saw this beautiful big golden aura around her, and I said she's going to be our next president. So
what everybody doesn't realize is nobody's seeing her do anything. There's so much going on in the forefront at the presidential level that he's dealing with. She is doing a ton of work in the background, and she's working with a lot of other people that are working on different aspects of Biden's agenda. She is working very hard. She's just not in the limelight doing it. But then you know what? If you think about most good presidencies, the VP is a quiet guy in the background working along.
She's getting her footing right now. She is doing a lot of work in the background, but she's getting her footing. And I think after the midterm elections, we're really going to see her
We'll see
step
her
up
more.
and be a lot more public with all the work she's doing. She's going to really be his right-hand man. He's
But
going to need that help.
when he finally decides that yes, he is going to run for that second term, you're going to see her very upfront and active in that realm. And she will, when he steps back, she will take his agenda and keep it. She won't change the agenda.
And she's going to go into a more progressive platform when she gets elected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, when she goes up for re-election, when she goes for her first presidential election and is elected on her own, her agenda will change. It will.
I feel that's when we're going to get. I feel like that's when we're going to get the Medicare for all. Is her first elected term.
I think it'll already be in the works. I think they'll actually she'll be the one that brings that forward when she takes over his presidency.
Yeah,
but it's already they're working on it. They have a whole team working on it. That's a long-term planning process. Right. I work in the insurance industry. Your husband works in the insurance industry. It's not something that happens overnight. Mm-hmm. It's extremely complex, and they've got a lot of things to iron out before they can move forward. So, but it will happen.
I agree. It will happen. It feels about a decade off.
They'll phase it in bits and pieces between Medicare for seniors and the Obamacare plan now until they get a good evolution, and then they'll finish the whole thing up as a full package.
Me and Kathy were talking about earlier too, which I think this information will make a lot of you very happy, is that we see Democrats in the presidency and in a majority control for at least the next 10 to 12 years.
Yeah, we're talking 3 full terms before the new Republican Party.
I feel like we might lose the House towards the end of it, but for the most part, we're gonna, I think, or the Senate, one or the two, towards the very end of it. I think maybe 10 years, but we're gonna have a very heavily Democratic House, Senate, and presidency for.
When we start losing footing in the House, as you know, we were discussing that too. There's going to be a new Republican Party move forward. It's not going to be the Trump Republican Party. That's going to divide off, and we're both seeing literally die off, because it's going to be the older, the 60-year-olds, the 70-year-olds.
You have a lot of younger Trump Republicans though too.
Some of them, there's going to be so few of them, it's not going to be a strength anymore. And they'll just sort of get lost in the wash. But the majority of that Trump Republican Party's in their late 50s. They're my age to my parents' age, which are Trump's age, and or older. Yeah. And they're just going to slowly evolve off the face of the earth because they're going to age out and they're going to pass.
The reason for this Democratic control, though, we both talked about, is because the Republican Party is going to fracture and split into two. Yeah. You're going to have, and I think we're going to definitely start seeing this after midterms, because a lot of the more sane Republicans are going to realize we can't have Trump on the head of our ticket. We're going to continue to lose catastrophically. And so you're going to see all the extremists break off and make their own party. It's going to divide up their voters. And then I think eventually after that 10, 12-year period that we're talking about, we're going to see the Democratic Party fracture into two between the progressives. And probably in about 15, 16 years, somewhere around there, we're going to have like a 4 or 5 party system. It'll be similar to like Canada's.
Canada, Australia. 4-party system. I think it's going to actually be a good thing because
it will be. It's needed.
They're going to end up working more bipartisan.
Yeah, we'll get that bipartisan group working.
Negotiation for the people. You'll have one group that's more green, and you'll have one group that's more economic.
It's actually going to be kind of like Israel, like their government, because they have different. I'm not like an expert in their politics, but they have multiple parties, and how they get elected is they have to gather support from other parties. So we're going to really see a lot of these different parties coming together and working in a bipartisan way to get things done. And actually, the Republican Party, after it cleans house and they start getting back into power, they're going to be a less corrupt and a much better party. Or maybe some of us could maybe even vote for them because
Right.
a lot of that corruption and nastiness is out. They'll be a lot more moderate.
They're going to be more towards the older philosophies of the Republican Party with some new, more progressive agenda to it too. When they come back and come back in a rise, the Republican Party, when they come back into fruition and are competitive against the Democrats in office again, you're going to see a lot more bipartisanship.
I just got a hit, but I'll let you know after
you're going to see. There's going to be a balance in the age of the parties too. We're going to lose this old generation, the
boomer.
Well, right now we've got the generation of the 20s and 30s going into the politics now and being elected. The freshman class, and then you have the senior class running things. I think that group is going to come back down, and you're going to see. You're not going to see so much of the 70 and 80-year-olds holding offices long term. And I think that's because there's going to be a lot of law changes, and one of them is term limits. You're going to be allowed. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to restructure the term limits in such a way. You start out in Congress, you work your way up, you do your terms through Congress, then you graduate and you go into the Senate seat. And it's going to be, then from the Senate seat, you go into the political chairs. If you've reached that height, you start being considered for Secretary of State and all the upper level cabinet positions, or a presidential nominee. I think it's going to be a more systematic system,
like stepping stools,
going from local to governor to then into the lower seats, and then it's going to be a progression in the political career, where sometimes they just get in at 26 and they stay there till they're 80. That's going to end. They're also going to put caps on. You're going to see a lot of changes in campaign finance laws.
Oh yeah, they're going to get rid of a lot of that. I feel like it's going to be government funded elections eventually.
I think it's going to be more like Canada and Australia. They're going to have a limitation to what they can receive from donations. Big corp's not going to be able to walk in and give them trillions of dollars.
Oh, right. Yeah. And they're going to get rid of all the lobbyists and all that.
Yeah.
Can I share my psychic hit I got about the Republican Party when they become a better party? Please. I feel like there's going to be a lot more younger energy for the new Republican Party, and they're going to be very green forward. Mm-hmm. They're going to be all about eco, and because they're going to see how they can make a lot of money off of switching into more green technology. And
well, you've got to remember right now, we're part of our job here as psychics and as I guess in a way we are sort of a teacher. I never try to call myself a teacher because I don't consider myself a teacher, but then everybody goes, well, yeah, you are.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Here to lead the younger generations forward. They're coming so gifted with technology, with I have 4 grandchildren, and every one of them are psychic. And unbelievable.
Well, we all are.
I mean, but they're coming in
more developed. Yeah.
Developed now, and they're not getting the suppression that we got.
A lot of the new generation coming in is going to be a lot more intuitive, and that's what helps with the evolution of the Earth raising its vibrations.
The kids that are in grade school right now and the ones being born right now, that's the group that we're talking about coming in the future and being the new Republicans, being that next generation. They're going to be green. They're bringing all that technology, the engineering. They're the ones that are going to develop and make it come to fruition. And this generation that's just coming through is going to launch it, but they're the ones that are going to expedite the quality of the new technology. 25 to 50 years from now, we won't even recognize this earth. And I'm 57, so I remember when they launched the space. We went to the moon. I watched it on TV. It was fascinating. And I think what's happened from the time we landed on the moon to now in my lifetime, it's just utterly amazing when I look back. My great-grandmother lived to 98. She took a covered wagon across the United States.
Oh, wow.
Pregnant. Mind you, from Oklahoma into Oregon in a covered wagon. That's a long trip. It's a 2-hour flight, but it's several weeks in a covered wagon,
Yeah.
And I loved listening to my grandmother's story, and I would think, oh, everything, all the history, all the changes in the world since she was a little girl to now.
It's crazy. Amazing. And I really feel in the next decade, 2 decades, even all the technological advances, even for me being like 30 years old, I feel like the next decade, 2 decades, we're going to be amazed by all of the advancements.
Jeez,
and
when
how
you
much...
were a baby, they were walking around with cell phones the size of a shoebox.
Yeah. All right, Kathy, let's I feel like we got sidetracked a little bit, although
we always get sidetracked.
I had this clicked up here for a while. Cecile asks, do my guides think I should turn the other cheek yet again or walk away from my adult siblings? I'm not feeling walk away, but I definitely see... I'm
hearing stand in your truth.
Yeah, stand your ground. I don't feel like the relationships are going to be... It's going to take time for them to come back together. But that's ultimately a decision that you need to make. If you feel like their relationship's a really toxic relationship for you and it's not worth it, then yeah, cut those ties. I mean, I've had to do that with some of my family members. And
you may want to do what I've done with my sister. You call a truce and you say, there are topics that we will not discuss. We're
because they trigger you.
Agree to disagree. We know we don't agree on these issues. So we're just not going to talk about these things because we're too... I
feel like Cecile fights with her siblings about politics. I don't know if that's what this is about or not, but
my daughter
I feel like it might be,
who I'm very close to, as you know, have completely opposite political views, and we just literally cannot talk about them. Now she's moved away from the red, thank God. But there's still aspects of it that we totally disagree on still. So
but you set those healthy boundaries where you're like, we're not going to discuss politics. We're not going to agree on them.
Well, we both,
it upsets us and it triggers us.
We'll say our opinion, and then before the fight commences, we'll go, okay, it's time to change the subject. We both said what we had to say. We don't have to agree. We know we're not going to agree, but there's no reason for us to fight about it either.
Yep, absolutely.
But sometimes we just have to get it out and sort of, get that little stab in of our opinion. But we still know where each other stands. And you know what? We're fighting more that we're alike than we're just alike in our politics again. So my mother would just roll over in her grave if she heard my daughter. So...
No, but Cecile, I do feel I feel like you need to take a little bit of time. I'm not feeling that you need to get rid of them out of your life. I feel like you will come together. I think it's going to take maybe a couple of years, but just give them some time, and I do feel like you will end up coming back together.
Yeah.
All right. I know I missed a few of them.
I'm not even watching. I'm so sorry. I should be helping you.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Oh, I'm way up here.
Well.
Kenya asks, will Social Security get a raise? Yes. I feel like I feel it's coming in sometime next year. I feels like early next year.
After midterms. Oh, actually, we're going to get a good raise this December, this January, because the economy is.
That's what I felt like.
We're going to get like a 6-point something raise, I've heard. Don't
after
quote me
midterms, it's gonna really. I
but
think
then
you're gonna get a substantial raise.
they're going to tweak Social Security after midterms, and there's going to be some changes too.
Do you feel like they're going to help refund it and expand to keep it going?
They're going to do an expansion of what we're receiving. They're going to do an increase because we're not getting our cost of living increases are not keeping up with the economy. And if you look at the average Social Security check right now, I think is $12.70 a month, and some people that's their only income. That's not even minimum wage.
Well, and especially somebody out in like California like you, there's no way somebody can survive off of that.
Well, rents, I mean, if
even
you're lucky
in Ohio,
a subsidized rent, you're talking $800 a month.
Right.
That leaves $400 a month to live on for food, groceries, and medications.
Right.
And
that's nothing.
Medicare does not have, if you're getting close to retirement, you really need to do your research on Medicare. It's not great. There's a lot of expenses, especially if you take a lot of prescription drugs. Be forewarned, it is not like regular health insurance at all.
LA asks, what was that?
Like my soapbox. The rude awakening of Medicare. I learned the hard way.
Well, my thing with the Social Security too is there should be no reason why they can't continue to keep it funded. I do see an expansion into the program, but what the reason for that is because Congress during the George Bush years stole a whole bunch of money and never replaced it. Because there's so many people that don't make it to retirement age that pay into it. There should be no reason why we're running out of money for it.
Right now, the average Social Security starts paying out about 57 because they're going out on disability at 57, and less than 30% of the people will make it till 65, and that and if you're born after 64, mine was 65. I was born in 64. My sister's has to be 67 to be eligible for full benefits, and she was born in 67. After that, you have to be 72. How many 72-year-olds do you know that are still working a full-time job?
Right.
Not going to happen.
Right.
That's going to all change. They're going to go Medicare eligibility and all that at a younger age and earlier retirements.
Because they're going to put more money into it. But let me tell you something. You want to see people riot? People are rioting because they're upset about the elections and stuff. Take away Social Security, because we've all paid into that. And let me tell you, if they want to get rid of that before I can collect on it, it's not going to be pretty.
Well, I'm trying, and I will tell you, I've been paying in since I was 14. It is not welfare.
No, that's our money.
That's our money. We have it's the same thing as you going out and getting a 401k. We invested in it. Our government has used it to support our nation. They didn't replace it. But also think of it this way. We get these infrastructure bills in. More people go back to work. More people go back to work. They get paid higher wages. If the wages go up, the contribution to your Social Security goes up because it's based on a percentage of your earnings, and it supports itself, and it does work. Right now, nobody's paying into it because everybody's unemployed still, or a good portion of the nation is. And there's a group of people that are refusing to go back to work for minimum wage.
Right, absolutely.
We are no longer grateful to get a job at minimum wage that we can't afford to live on.
Right. People working minimum wage jobs having to work 2-3 jobs, and I mean that's not even paying for childcare for somebody if they have kids. I mean,
my daughter just returned to work, and she got her first paycheck from the job she just quit. She got a really good job, but in the interim, she took other jobs, and her childcare exceeded her paycheck, her bring home pay. She goes, "Oh, I'm working to give my daycare provider $12."
Right. So why would people go back to work to do that?
Yeah, because her entire bring home check, her first paycheck, was her entire daycare bill for that 2 weeks. So she was working for nothing. What was the purpose? And then she has to pay taxes on that money on top of that.
We're going to really see a lot of help with the child care, and that's going to be coming very soon.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the infrastructure bill.
Yeah. So. I'm feeling that I think it'll be passed early next year. And I do think with the infrastructure deal, those jobs that are created from it are going to be really good paying jobs that are really going to help the middle class and get people back into middle class.
Well, if you study economics over all the generations, we need this to develop, and we need to go back to the 1970s, back when my parents were starting out, and at 20, 22, 23, bought their first house. I don't know a 22, 23-year-old that can even consider buying a house.
Yeah.
They can't even touch the market.
Well, back then too,
we'll be lucky when we're 40, we can buy a house.
Yeah. Back in the 70s was right when, the wealthy started to get their taxes lowered, and we started to really see that income inequality.
Education, they were people, and back then when people went to work for a company, they stayed there. They paid them a fair working wage. They got profit sharing. They were
union jobs.
Now we change jobs like we change our clothes. We have to be competitive to make more money. And sometimes that's the only way you can go up. It used to be that you'd stay with a company. They would train you. They would educate you. They would educate you more. And you would work through the ranks.
Right.
And I think that's what Biden's going for. Let's get these blue collar workers trained, get the journeymen, give them decent wages.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, and I do see it working. He's going to really open the doors again. And that's where all this green economy is going to really take off, because he's going to support a lot of the new technologies and stuff. So if you're an entrepreneur, go for it.
LA asked, will I end up in a relationship with somebody new or somebody from the past? And I'm feeling somebody new.
Yeah, somebody new.
It's going to be somebody new.
I want to throw on that one, though. Let's get some idea of what she's looking at.
Yeah, it's weird. We haven't even thrown any cards yet, have we?
No, we haven't. But this one I heard throw the cards.
Do what the guides say, huh?
Do what the guides say. Get a picture of this person. What's his new relationship look like?
Thank you all for joining us. If you haven't liked, share, subscribe, and make sure to go onto Kathy's channel and subscribe to her channel. We're both trying to expand our subscriber counts, and we both really greatly appreciate it. Plus, me and Kathy really work together. We've been working together like every week lately, so I'm on her channel a lot as well. I'm sure you'll be back onto mine.
We've been working on our channels, plus we talk probably 2 or 3 times a week too. On top of that, that's why we need to switch from our phones to Zoom.
Right.
And I gotta get Kevin. I gotta get Kevin to do the editing for us. There's a YouTube channel for that, Kevin.
Oh, is there?
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure. I can't even pause my video in the middle of a recorded video. My dogs start barking. I have to redo the whole thing.
And I guess I'll have to take the one on researching the Zoom for broadcasting through Zoom. So because Zoom Foursquares, and we know who's talking, who has the mic at the time, so we're not interrupting each other when there's 3 or more of us on.
Right.
And we've done pretty good so far, not talking over each other.
Yeah, we have.
And we've done really good.
I haven't had to hold up my my shut up, Kathy. We have a little hidden.
Tell our signals.
Yeah, if you see me hold that up, that's what I'm telling Kathy.
You'll see Sharon and I hold our pens or pencils up. It's usually like, we need to move on now.
Right. Well, you know, I enjoy talking with you, and we always have such a good time, even if we do talk over each other a little bit.
Well, we tend to be having the same thought, too, is the funny part, is we're saying the same things sometimes at the same time.
Well, Cecile, Kathy, you normally do a video like a week, plus you do your lives on Sundays, usually, correct?
Yeah. I've been trying to get one in, at least one live video in a week, and then.
But you always go live on Sundays. Sundays at like 4:30, unless you have something up that day.
Yeah, it's 1:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific time. 4:30 Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to, when I go on Thursdays, if I don't go on, it's usually because I have chronic pancreatitis, and if I'm having a flare up and I'm in pain, I have a hard time reading when I'm in pain.
Yeah.
When I hit a certain level of pain, I'm done. But people that follow a lot of readers, I follow the same group that most everybody does. If you see me and I just go in and say hi, but I don't really chat much because it's really not in my nature not to be chatting with everybody, you know, I'm not feeling good. And I'm usually just listening, or I'll even just, sometimes I'll start to listen and I can't concentrate, and I'll just turn it off and I'll listen later. And I'll go back, and then I'll have to catch up and binge watch everybody to catch up on what's going on. But it's usually because I'm just having a bad week.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes, you know, obviously it's hard to connect when you're in pain and you're not feeling good. It's hard to really focus on the energy.
Yeah.
I definitely see something new with these cards that I got. I get the Page of Cups. So that's really
reading.
Oh, manifesting and really meditating on that relationship.
Yeah.
I see you at a crossroads with this. It's crossed by the Two of Swords. So it's that going back and forth of this manifesting this new person or that previous love and just interest from your past. Which direction you want to go into? I get the Death card. So there's that change, the end of a cycle, beginning of a new.
Yeah, death does not mean death.
No. I get the Empress above you and the Sun in the future. So I definitely see that relationship. Sun is a yes, for sure. And I feel like with the Empress card, this could be somebody that you really settle down with and really make a life with.
Yeah, this relationship's going to go long term.
Yeah, I'm feeling that as well.
Yeah. Can I go?
Yeah.
Yeah. I start off with the King of Cups. This is going to be, he's going to be spiritually supportive, very emotional. This is showing me water sign. He's going to have a water earth.
I feel a lot of romantic energy.
Air energy. So he's going to either be an air sign or earth sign, or a combination of the two. Those are going to be his strengths in his reading. You're going to put time and effort into this. I get the Seven of Pentacles. You reap what you sow. Mm-hmm. You will manifest this person. So sit down and decide what it is you want in a relationship, not what you don't want. Never manifest negativeness. What is it that you want in a partnership? Do you want to be an equal? Do you want to be both of you financially responsible? A person that's educated, a person that has intellect. What positive things in a relationship do you want to think? Do you politically stand on the same view? Do you both want children? You can manifest all of those things into your relationship.
With that always seven of
positive.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You don't want to manifest anything negative.
And don't say, I don't want an alcoholic, because spirit only hears, oh, an alcoholic.
Right.
They don't hear that I don't part.
Can I say with that Seven of Pentacles too, I was kind of feeling with that
Yes.
that's being disappointed. I feel them being somewhat disappointed with somebody from their past and really wanting to go forward and move on.
Right under my manifestation.
Oh, yeah.
In the center of my reading. Don't look at the negative things in your past. You need to work through that and then release it. Let it go. So anything in the past that's still burden to you, write it down, put it on a piece of paper, cut the ties, burn that paper and send it back into the universe and release yourself from that energy. That is not going to be this person. And so when you're manifesting, this doesn't go into this. This is only positive. What attributes do you want to have in a person that are positive? You deserve that. My outcome cards are highly supported.
Oh, yeah.
Find that lever. And underneath that lever,
holding on to it too. It's gonna
be to it, both financially. You'll be holding on. You'll be gaining money together. This will be a good partnership for you, though, because you will find your lever. And then the absolute final outcome. I love these two cards together. He's going to be a spiritual person, just like you, and you're going to have the world by the tail.
Yes.
This is a marriage. This is the marriage card here. So,
yeah, it's going to be something that's very long lasting, especially long lasting,
and you'll live. You'll take the world by its tail. You'll live a very good life together. This person is going to be your equal. You're going to be their equal. You're going to balance each other really beautifully.
I haven't seen LA on in a while, but
and by the way, he's a hard worker. He's a hard worker, and this is where I get the air sign. It's the King of Wands.
Oh, I read wands as fire, but that I know that some people read them differently.
It's action, it's air. I read it fire sometimes too as an earth sign because it always has a lot of fire in the
it's fiery, passionate energy is how I take wands. And I've always done swords as my air.
And because I've got the King of Cups behind, I'm thinking this is an air or a fire sign with the water rising. And the water signs is your spirituality usually.
I feel that love with the water sign too, like it being a really emotion, really loving, fulfilling, romantic, that kind of energy. But I don't know if LA is still on or not, but I really hope that that was wonderful messages you got.
If not, she'll catch it in the replay. Nice cards though.
Yeah. I got a question from Critter Sanctuary Inc. Oh, what a cute puppy.
Aww.
Says, hi guys, do you see 2020 being better? This year I got the virus, my house burnt down, I lost pets, and got into a hit and run. Wow. Please tell me my luck will change.
Your luck will change.
2022 is going to definitely be a much better year, especially with the virus and all that. I see a lot of things letting up and us not being so stressed out about it.
You're going to have a lot more joy in your life.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for everything that you've been going through. That's awful.
When it rains, it pours. Yeah, this must have been your bad luck year. You're going to move towards a really good luck year. I'm feeling a Lenormand on this.
Yeah, I was definitely saying, look, we need to pull some cards. I'm going to do the deck that Kathy got me. Postcards. Oh,
I love that deck.
Was it Postcards from Spirit?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? I'm going to pull a nice message for you, Critter.
I'm going to throw a line of 5 in my Lenormand, and I'm going to pull a surrender card too. I got to gift the contract, a lady. Oh, you're going to buy a house? If you haven't replaced your house yet, I see you buying a house here. I'm getting the gift, the contract, and the woman where's that? I hope Critter is a woman. I don't know. I'm assuming it is.
I feel it is, but I'm not entirely
If it
sure.
is, the woman is you, but it looks like you're getting ready to go into a contract for a house.
Nice.
So, I get an ending with the clouds, so I do want to clarify those clouds. Okay. For the clarification of clouds, I get the magnifying glass of the world. So you're going to take a very careful look when you're buying this house to make sure that it's in good shape, that you're not walking into a bad contract. The sun's going to shine on this. So yes,
I would definitely
be a positive action with your significant other. So you're going to be very happy in this house, and it's going to be a good thing. You're not going to buy a money pit. So take your time while you're looking, get what you want. You're going to be okay. So that's the
I was
delay.
Gonna say
the clouds are a delay. So
okay. I was gonna say I know Lenormand's a little bit different reading than tarot, but with that sun card, I mean that's definitely a positive card.
Yeah,
where
the
it would look
sun
like
in
maybe
tarot
that
and the sun
that
in
luck would turn
the sun in tarot and the sun in Lenormand pretty much carry that
the
same
same.
positive energy. Yeah.
All right. Am I able to share my message for Critter? Or are you still pulling some?
No, I'm done.
All right. So my postcard for you, Critter, says, "Dearest you, we have a secret to share with you. If you act as if all is well, it will be. Act as if you are brave and you will have courage. Act as if you are loved and you will be a magnet for love and experience the love of spirit. Act as if your prayers have been answered, as if you are truly in sync with good fortune. How you think is how you will see the world, interact with it, and draw conclusions from it. If you want to be the person who has the life you want, co-creating and loving what is yours, you need to start acting as if that were truth. Don't worry about the conditions in your life that seem empty and carnivorous, chaotic, or barren. These are temporary and don't even count. Defy them and act as if you were the luckiest person on the planet. You will be, for you already are, and that's the real secret. You are infinite potential. Loving you so much, rainbows explode into the ether."
Isn't it amazing how the right card just comes right up?
I was going to say, this is pretty amazing, and I've only used this deck that you got me twice, and I pulled this card my last video that I posted. The same exact card came up. Yeah. So
look at the front of the card. Look at the bottom of the front of the card. No, you look at it. There's a saying right at the bottom of the front of the card.
Because you are divine beauty.
I thought you missed that on the cards. I forgot to point that out to you that there's a.
I saw that they look like they were a little different. Yeah.
And each one's different.
Well, if I feel like that was definitely a message for spirit.
That card really addressed your question.
It did. Didn't it? Really let go of that negative and don't live in it, because it's just going to further amplify that energy. Live your life as if everything that you want, you have already, and that abundance will come in for you. So
one of the things I did a long time ago when I was dreaming about owning my own house was I started taking pictures of magazine clippings and things like that of what I wanted in my home and did them on a picture board.
And manifested
what kind of furniture did I want? What did I want my house to look like? What kind of floor plan it had? What the decor looked like? And I manifested. And then when I found this house, I didn't jump in. My sister goes, "This house is perfect for you." And I said, "Yeah, but I need to take Mom's advice. I need to go home and sleep on it." And so I went home. I went to bed. I told my husband, "I think I found a house." And it was followed by my mother gave me a grandmother clock right before she had passed for a birthday present. I had a dream of her helping me move into this house. And she took that clock she bought me and hung it over the fireplace.
So that was it.
And that was the answer. The next morning I got up, I got dressed, I drove into Tulare, and I put an offering on the house and got it. So that was my answer. My mom came and told me, yep, that's the house. You're moving in. So I bought it because of that dream. Yeah.
Mims, Kathy got me this deck, and I don't have the box up here, but I believe it's Postcards from Spirit.
Yes. I thought
I believe
had
is
it
what
out.
it
I
is.
think I put it up because you had yours out.
And they have such beautiful messages on it. And I haven't even charged this deck yet, but I can feel the power. Postcards from Spirit. Yep. But that definitely resonated with your question, Critters. So
and
they're
who
beautiful
introduced
cards.
me to this deck? And Mims knows her. Karen Elizabeth Sage Healer.
How does she use that deck?
All the time. And the deck that I love to use also from that duo is her best friend Debbie, Freebird Spirit. Nobody knows Debbie, right? Is a surrender deck. And I absolutely love this.
Oh, yeah.
Too. And
what's the new one? The character deck? I need to get that one.
The deck of characters, yeah. I didn't research that for you. I think it's sold out worldwide right now, but we'll find you one. The deck of characters.
Yeah. Hey, Scott. Oh, you got that deck for Scott Allen as well? I love it. I got oh, what deck is it?
I've never seen Scott use the surrender deck before.
He says that you got him the postcards deck.
Oh, I did. I sent him the postcards deck. You're right. I forgot all about that, Scott.
Do you have that deck that I sent you?
Yes.
I have the cards up here, but I don't have the box, and I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But I wanted to share the story.
You know, I have
on us buying decks
up here. I tried to show you that earlier. Where is it? I have so much on my desk right now.
Actually, I can pull it up right now. Because I have it on my Amazon because I just got those for you. So let me pull up past orders.
Right here.
Yes, Talking to Heaven.
Yeah. And I haven't pulled many cards from this because I was sort of saving this for people that have lost somebody recently.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really is, the messages are all about grieving, and it's a beautiful deck.
But you know what, too? I do read the little quotes that it gives for it, but I look at the pictures, and the pictures really resonate with me.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I got Kathy that deck, it's like a mediumship card deck. Not that I think you need help with mediumship. I think you're pretty good on it.
It's a good way to tap in, though, to that energy, to specific energy.
But the reason why I got that deck for Kathy is because I don't remember whose chat it was. I think it was probably Debbie Freebird. I pulled some cards for her, and I used that deck and got connected with your mom, and I told you those messages.
Oh, way back when.
And that's when she reached out to me and our friendship started. So I saw some significance in that deck. So,
and you want to talk about an amazing reading. Kevin called me and he said, I really need to talk to you. And I'm like, yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you. So we got together, and the first thing he said is, he goes, I have a reading from somebody. Do you mind if I read? It's from your mother. And I said, sure, go ahead. And then he told me about the last month and a half of my mother's life, verbatim, like he was sitting on her bedside. I was blown through the water, absolutely amazed.
I remember I picked up that she had dogs with her too.
Yeah, she had a boxer that laid on her bed, her dog. For who were we reading for? You changed.
No, I was just holding up some comments.
What was the last
the reading before? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was
her card.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and
It's
read
probably way up there. Was it? Oh, it was for Critter.
Critter. Yeah, Critter.
Yeah.
It says surrender to play. And the card says, take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is time of recreation and rejuvenation. So this is your time to, and after COVID and everything else, you need to play some.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Get out of that funk.
We need to get together sometime. Scott gave me my start.
Sky reached out to me about going live with him, and I have all these people that want to do collabs with me, and I promise I will get out there and do them here soon.
And maybe we should bombard his Sunday morning one of these mornings.
Yeah, I love their Sunday coffee chat.
I catch about a half hour into it because I get up about that time, and it takes me a while to get my coffee and and my head on. I think the first time I read with him, I came in about 30 minutes into the program. This is that deck you were asking me about.
Yes, I love the energy from that deck.
This is a beautiful deck. And I gifted this deck to my sweet baby Jay. And he uses it all.
I love the energy that comes from that deck. It was a different deck that I was talking about, but I like that deck as well.
I think I know the other deck you were talking about, but this is you said the elemental. This is the elemental oracle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew that there was an elemental one, and I really like the energy. You can just feel it right off the card. They're so electric and
I'm a math
so powerful.
I'm a math science geek, as you know, and that literally is what this deck is about. It's about the earth, the universe, the alchemy. It's everything to do with that, and it's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck.
Louie, are you still on? I don't recognize you, but welcome to my channel. If you're still on, I'm going to throw a few cards regardless, but he wants to know, he says he's glad that he caught my live. My husband is having difficulties financially and legally. Will he be okay? I definitely feel he's going through it. I feel that stress.
Of tension, very stressed out. It's going to take a little while.
Yeah, I feel it will be okay, but it's going to take some time. It's a little bit out there.
It's going to be a long process. Of course, anything legal and financial takes time. Especially the legal wheels. I came from the legal industry. The wheels move slowly, but they do move precisely. You just have to be patient. Make sure he's de-stressing periodically and not over-worrying and overthinking it constantly. Plan some quiet nights or an excursion weekend that's not going to cost a lot of money, just to be a distraction and to just sort of release some of the stress. I'm looking like at least 6 months this process, and then things will get better and it'll just resolve itself good.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a little bit resolution. But he will be okay. He's a strong guy. Just definitely feel that stress is definitely impacting him a little bit.
Feeling like very analytical. He's over-analyzing it at times, but you're not going to be able to stop him from doing that other than get a good night dinner out, a good steak, bottle of wine.
Yeah, he's very much in his head and replays a lot of this stuff in different situations and scenarios and overstresses.
I keep on hearing that.
I just feel the wheel keep on moving. He goes to bed
with it. It doesn't stop. He's constantly thinking about it.
I feel like he's making himself sick. He's so stressed.
Yeah. He's got an ulcer he needs to watch out for because he's internalizing that stress. Very analytical mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make an issue. Just plan a surprise this or a surprise that, and
do something nice and
relaxing. That's not stressful. An overnight weekend at a B&B or something on the coast or whatever's near you. A favorite hotspot that you know they love and you haven't been there in a while. Do it almost like a fly on the seat of your pants. Get in the car and drive there. Oh, by the way, I made reservations. Do you mind? You know, it'll be welcomed. Very welcomed.
Scott, I'm not available tomorrow. I work tomorrow, but let's I don't know if you're talking to me or Kathy, but we can email and get something planned. I would enjoy that.
And tomorrow I'm going to be in Fresno. My husband has a surgical consult tomorrow in midday, so I'm going to be tied up all day. So whichever one of us you were addressing. Scott, we're both on Messenger, so flip us both a message.
No, Saturday I definitely can't do, Scott. Saturday is the day I work both of my jobs, and usually it's like a 16-hour day. But email me. My email is kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com, and we'll get something scheduled. But I should be free. I do Sunday. Sundays, usually I go on Kathy's channel, but I can do something probably Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday.
But Sunday he does that morning show too, so you could always jump on that.
Yeah, if I feel up to it though, after that 16-hour day.
Yeah, because you're working that 16-hour day and you're so.
But I like to catch it.
Yeah.
I definitely get a little bit of weird energy with these couple cards, Louis. The card that I get for the situation is the Queen of Cups. So that is maybe like needing that calming energy, that loving energy. It's crossed by the Devil, though. So it could be a woman involved maybe in this legal situation. Yeah, I definitely feel all this stress. Above you, I'm getting the Ace of Swords, so that truth being revealed in the situation. And in the short-term future, I get the Two of Wands crossed by the Eight of Swords. So, yeah. Are you doing the Arcanum deck as well?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm using. I get the Two of Wands.
My go-to deck.
I like that or the Light Seers deck, but yeah. Oh, yeah, I should have your email, Scott. I'll text you. So really planning that future, but be careful with that, because crossed by the Eight of Swords, I feel like with that planning, a lot of the decisions that you're planning on doing might be from stress, and you really need to have a clear head with that. I had a couple other cards pull out. I get the Empress, so it feels very motherly energy. Maybe it's an issue with like an ex, or maybe maybe the mother of kids, maybe. This is kind of what I'm getting. I definitely see you on the defensive, but keep it up. It's going to all play out okay. I get the Three of Wands, so waiting for that ship to come in. It's going to come in. It's just try to be a little patient and try not to be so stressed out. It will all be okay. Breathe.
Yeah.
What are you getting, Kathy?
Okay. I start out with the Five of Cups, and right now he's feeling like really stressed because he's not realizing he's got two cups still full in the background, and this is what's weighting him down. It's followed by, this is what's on his mind. It's followed by the Queen of Swords. He just wants the truth to come out. He needs to trust in the system, because I think this is a karmic
it's a turning point
in his life. And he's got the Knight of Pentacles working on his side. And And it is a slow moving night, but it is a positive
Slow
night.
and steady.
And
Yeah.
steady, slow and steady night. And he gets a 10 of cups as.
Are you feeling that there's some kind of this legal issue has to do with a family or kids or
inheritance,
an ex-wife or something like that with kids, like child support or something
with
like
that? Family. That was the issue at hand. The outcome cards for this reading is here's the truth.
Justice.
Forward justice. It's going to manifest the way he's wanting it to come out. There's going to be legal balance in this. Your relationship's going to turn back to the loving strength it's always had. You're always a very sports person with your partner. And the final card I got was that Empress card. So, and I'm with you. It's the family energy, because just above that was my 10 of cups.
It feels like it's like a child support issue or like a past marriage or something. Yeah, I got the Empress and the Queen of Cups, and it was feeling very motherly energy.
It's going to be good. It's going to be fair. It's going to be balanced, and it's going to be a positive outcome. I won't answer child support questions because field.
I'm just saying, I feel like that may be the vibe that I was picking. I won't read it
specifically and direct in any questions in regards to your question of how the system works. I'll refer you back to your local, because I cannot legally practice law. I am not an attorney, but general reading like this, whatever is coming up, it will resolve itself in good balance and harmony. And you're going to have the happy family, restoration of your relationship, and Louis, your husband will come back to you in full fruition of everything you love about him. His mind will settle down.
He'll be okay. It's going to be a lot of stress for, like you were saying, 6 months, 6 months to a year.
3 to 6 months, a little longer than that, but it will play out, and then everything will just balance. And like I suggested, nice dinner, make him a home cooked meal, crack a bottle of wine occasionally, get a little getaway, get his mind off things. Just a change of atmosphere, something that's going to take his mind off the stress. A detox weekend, basically. Someplace where you can go that's separated from the city, the surroundings, whatever environment you're living in, and catch your breath.
All right, Kathy. Well, I think we can probably do maybe a couple more little questions. We've been on for almost an hour, and then I'm going to pull one of those postcards from Spirit for the collective. Does that sound okay with you?
Sounds great. And I'll pull for the collective. I'll do another surrender card too.
I feel like for this question, we can probably do mediumship style.
That question needed a reading, definitely.
Oh yeah, and even the one before the critters one I felt pulled to. Sandra asked, "Will we ever be able to vote from our personal computers from home?" I'm not feeling that, or anytime in the near future, voting from home. I don't feel that secure enough.
I think 20 years out, they will have a system devised in such a way that you'll have a numerous passcode system that you can safely go in, and that they will have it specialized enough that there won't be anybody that can go in and change votes or anything. You'll have it secured enough that they will, but we're talking 20, 25 years into the future. Yeah. We're not talking about.
I'm not feeling that energy right now, but
nothing coming soon. I think you're gonna see right now. You're gonna see us go back to more handwritten paper ballots, where they go through a reader in paper form that reads to a direct device and not an online server.
So you actually have that physical copy of something.
It'll record, and then they will be able to literally do a manual count, and the counts will be within a few numbers where the machine may have saw a stray mark or something like that. but they'll be easily validated on a manual hand count. I think we're going to get rid of third-party auditors. They're not going to. This is the one and only time this is ever going to happen. They will shut that down so fast.
We're going to see a lot of changes with the voting laws here coming up.
Voting, campaigning.
It's going to be federal. It's going to be federally ran elections, even for the state, because they're not going to be able to allow these Republican governors to cheat and say, well, we're not verifying those results. You know, all the gerrymandering is going to be fair. It's not going to be
at the state level. The manning of the voting officers, the employees that run it and collect and all that at the state level. But the rules are going to be federal.
Yeah.
And the states aren't going to be able to come in the back door and say, no, our state's going to count it this way.
Right, exactly. And there's going to be federal rules on how everything is done for these elections.
And that will also count in voter manipulation by shutting down polling places. And each county will, for each population of people, there will be required to have so many open places to vote in a reasonable distance from anybody's home.
Yeah.
And they will pass that holiday for voting. We will.
Yeah, definitely a lot of positive rule changes with the voting. I agree. And they're going to get rid of states being allowed to gerrymander their districts. So there's going to be somebody independent coming in that writes those maps, because it can't be a partisan decision.
And that way you won't have a 100-mile spaghetti line going through a state so that they're capturing the red district.
Right.
I guess I guess some of the lines in some of the southern states are just bizarre.
Well, it's because you have those pockets of black voters all throughout, and they don't want.
Yeah, and they're trying to get that solidly white.
Yeah.
Republican.
Rural areas. All right, I think this is going to be our last question, and Scott already kind of answered it, and I would have to say I probably agree with him. But she asked, will I be able to move in 2022? For me, I definitely saw 2023. It feels like 2023. Scott says he was feeling like February 2023. I felt like it might be maybe a little bit out, but it feels 2023. I don't feel the energy there next year. He says he was asking if her finances were in order, and that was kind of what was coming up for me.
She's building on that.
She's working on it.
She's working on it right now. She's working on cleaning up her credit score. She's working on actually putting a little bit extra money aside each month so that she can have the better down payment, that better to get into.
I just saw June, so maybe more towards the middle of 2023 is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm going with not in 2022. It's out of ways.
Yeah, like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, but there will be a move. Let me throw a time card on it through Lenormand and see what we get for the season.
Yeah, timing's a little harder.
Time.
Yeah.
Lenormand's the only one I've ever been able to actually get timing out of, because the way
go for it. Yeah, it's hard. You can feel the momentum of the energy if it's something that feels like it's coming up quickly, or something that feels like it's a while off. I saw clairvoyantly June. So, and I felt summer. 2023.
Yeah, summer. I got the sun.
Summer, yeah.
Summer. June. Summer starts in June. June 22nd is the beginning of summer. So, this is card 31. So it'll be sometime probably towards the end of June or thereafter in the summer. Yeah. You're going to be searching. You'll be on the search. I'm feeling like this card that I pulled up before I got a season card, because I was going to pull till I got a season. Mm-hmm. This card is saying to me,
searching for the house.
You're searching, follow the market. See what the trends are going. If there's an area you're wanting to consider moving into, if you're buying, follow the market. Also follow the rents. See how things are turning over. See what kind of specials are running. See if they're hiking up the rents.
Depending on where you live to, Mary, or where you want to move to, I feel like the market's going to be a little bit more affordable then too.
Yeah, if
I
you're
feel the market's
buying,
slowing down if you're buying. Yeah, I
if
don't feel
you're
like it's going to
buying
be.
right now, it's a seller's market,
Yeah,
and
I feel it'll be a little bit
in
better
about a
for you
year,
then.
it's going to become a buyer's market again.
Yeah. Do you want to do one more question and then we'll do our collective?
Sure.
Where was it? Kenya Jones asks, will my husband get a raise in the coming months? And I feel like it's a little bit further off from that. I'm not feeling it
There's a
right
raise
away.
coming.
Oh, you feel a raise coming in a few months?
I don't know when it's coming though.
Yeah, it feels like it's a little bit off for
It's
me.
not going to be a great big raise. You would have liked more, but it will be a nice raise. It won't be a petty raise. It won't be like 2%. It'll be up some.
I saw 5. So if that's a $5 increase,
It's not going to be that 8 or 10% that everybody needs, but yeah, it'll be, and there'll be another one the following year.
It feels like it might be like, I feel like I'm feeling like maybe like 6 months. It feels like it's a little bit out there, but not.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's pull a card for the entire group. And I had so much fun having you on my channel. You know, me and you work, we vibe off each other so well, and I really enjoy working with you, Kathy. And I'm so excited that I was able to come live for the first time.
We've been planning this for well over a month now. We've been talking about it. It was getting the schedules worked out.
And knock on wood, because we're not done yet. You had your little computer glitch, but thankfully Mercury retrograde didn't mess with our program too much.
The computer glitch was it.
Isn't Mercury retrograde almost over now, though?
It was. I think it runs to I should Google that. Hey Scott, you got your Google machine? Google it for us. When does Mercury retrograde end? I think it's like October 22nd or something like that. It's towards the end of the month.
No, so we're almost through with it. I've heard people have been. It's been a rough one.
Connie, yes. Nathan's going to go back to school in January. He's still contemplating it, but he will go back. If not January, it'll be the next semester. But he is going back.
But I had so much fun hanging.
My eye. I connected.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
I had so much fun though. Like I said, I had so much fun working with you on my channel and all the wonderful people chatting.
Oh, this has
been awesome.
A great group.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic group.
I feel all the love and support with our community. Anytime I'm in somebody else's chat, or even like today, everybody in my chat, we're all so supportive of each other.
All the people that I haven't seen before too. Wonderful people.
Yes, make sure if you're not subscribed to either of us to subscribe. Kathy's channel is Kathy's Guided Light Tarot. Mm-hmm. And I think I put your email in the description box. We both do personal readings. I have my email in there. It's Kevin Loving Vibrations. I put is yours like K Stafford 50s?
Oh no, that's my private.
Oh, well, I put that in there, so I will edit that out. But how can people reach you if they need to get a hold of you?
My channel email is guidedlighttarot333@gmail.com.
I'll edit that after we're done with the video. Just send it to me.
Did you use the K Stafford, the one with the?
It was K Stafford, but I got it off of your account, your channel. Okay, so that's why I was thinking that's what you used.
It's the short one that I don't give out.
Okay. This K Stafford, what was it, 57 or 59, something like that? Oh yeah,
that one. If you write that one, I will eventually see it.
We'll edit it on here.
That account's like 30 years old, 25, 30 years old. It was my very first Google account.
Thank you, Connie.
And it gets spammed so much. I get like 4,000 emails in that account a day, so I don't go through it very often. It does pop up messages on my phone. And if I catch a person's name that I recognize, I'll definitely open it. But The Guided Light Tarot 333 is a better way to contact me. Or you can find me in the Way Showers group if you're a member of Way Showers, and connect to me through Messenger. And if you come into Messenger and you're not you're not using the same username, let me know what your username is in the description. You saw me online. I'm so and so. If your real name's on your Facebook ID, because I screen those. I get all kinds of military men interested.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How about that?
In your age. And they're working on missions overseas as diplomats.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they have different pictures of themselves that don't even look like each other.
Yeah.
So I don't answer them. I just block them.
Right? You don't need that in your life.
I got a man. I definitely don't. I
love all the
Cancerian crabs, so I don't need another man.
I love all the foreign women that tried to add me as friends on Facebook that I don't know, that are pretty much naked in their profile pictures. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm swinging for the other team, honey. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. My message from Spirit for you all. It says, you are fierce. Dearest you, there is only one of you, and you have a unique path and a special purpose. You're supposed to have specific experiences in this world and meet certain people, but then it is up to you. It is up to you how you live, how awake you choose to be, and how willing you are to grow and strip away what's false. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to think a person is happier just because their outside looks good according to society's standards, but you cannot know anybody's internal experience. Compare yourself only to your past self. See how far you've come. Don't be distracted by what others are doing or accomplishing. Stay focused on what inspires you. That's how you get successful and find happiness. Want what you have now, not what somebody else has. We love you immensely and know your journey ahead is sparkling with miracles and wondrous things. Trust. Loving you forever and ever.
What a great piece of advice.
Yes. Be your true, authentic self.
No need to covet thy neighbor. You can tell what church I grew up in, huh?
You say love thy neighbor?
No, quit coveting thy neighbor. Being jealous of what your neighbors had. Keeping up with the Joneses.
Got you.
Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. That's gorgeous.
That's your card. Yeah, that's your card. All the trees and forests and nature.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in the forest one day and lay down and die.
You're gonna hug a tree before.
Oh yeah, I'll hug the tree on the way up. I've spent my life hugging trees. Take a relaxing break and spend some time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. But I pulled 2 cards.
Okay.
My other card, I think, is for you. For all our lovers out there looking for that special relationship. Surrender to the fear of intimacy. And you know, there is a lot of us that have fear of intimacy out there.
Mm-hmm.
You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening up your heart. Great advice.
Yes.
So, this is your card, dear.
For me?
Yeah, that one's for you.
Okay.
From Kevin's Loving Vibrations.
Yes, I'm sending you all so much love. Hey, it definitely was
so fun.
It was definitely took me a while to open myself up to love. So.
Oh. You and Dan, you're like, I mean,
we're an old married couple. We argue all the
Roger
time.
and I mean, look at this. You see this picture and you just know we're supposed to be together. That was the first year we were dating.
We both have cancer men too.
Yeah, we're just like we found out. He's telling me about something his husband did.
Crabby cancers.
I said, your husband's a Cancer. He goes, how did you know that? I said, oh, it sounds just like mine. Just like mine. And even though we must have some favorable aspects of our chart, because I'm a Pisces and you're a Leo. But I'm
a Scorpio moon though.
I'm a Virgo rising. I don't know what my moon is. I'm gonna have to pull my chart up. But we handle our husbands very much the same way. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of fire energy, but internally I have that emotional energy with my Scorpio moon. I think that's where I get a lot of my psychic abilities too.
Yeah. Well, you have water in your chart. You have some very strong psychic water energy in your chart someplace. So.
Yeah, and I'm a Leo sun with a Sag rising, which I can definitely see the Sag rising because I speak my truth and I call out all the bullshit in the world.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want half an answer either. You like
no,
don't play the game. Give me this, give me that.
I'm blunt and to the point.
Yep.
Tell me what's going on.
My granddaughter.
I don't have time to sugarcoat it. Or hear you sugarcoating.
I keep on telling my daughter, quit telling him because I said so. It is not an answer for a Sagittarius. Explain to them why you said so, and if they agree, they will go along with it. They'll argue the hell out of it too, because they're gonna make good attorneys.
Yes, keep it real.
Keep it real. Yeah. Don't wash it over with because I said so. It's not an explanation. Well, in her house it is because my daughter. My daughter's
all right, everyone. Well,
so it is the bottom line.
Right. Well, it was so much fun hanging out with you all today.
It was so fun reading for all of you. Come join us on Sunday.
Yes, and, Sunday.
Sharon Lee will
I don't think I will be making it this Sunday. We'll see if I can. I will.
By ear, depending on how busy he was and how late he came in that night.
I do have plans Sunday, but I'm not sure the time, so it might be for part of the time. I don't know. I will let you know for sure, but I definitely enjoy.
I'll throw the link out at you if you come in late.
If I'm able to, I will.
If you make it in, you make it in. If not, we totally understand.
But I do have fun. Is Sharon going to be on this Sunday?
Yeah, Sharon should be on this Sunday. Yeah.
Yes. I like working with you and Sharon.
Sharon's
really a fun time. You're a hoot and crack me up.
Yeah. And we don't go super off the rail like they do over at Nasty Women because with
the nastiness you mean?
Oh yeah, I tend to pull Sharon into her mediumship side more when we read together. We tend to pull that mediumship side a lot more and she doesn't always go there with the Nasty Women show because they keep it so light. She'll go in and out of that, but when she reads this with us on Sunday and she's doing strictly personals, she likes to step into that mediumship and that's fun because all three of us are mediums, and then we pull off each other's energy on top of that. And we've had some amazing.
Yes, readings. It elevates the energy with the three of us on.
And we've had some real amazing energies, readings from that. So,
all right, everyone. Well, please like, share, subscribe.
Is he home? Is Dan home?
No, but I just heard music coming from somewhere. So
I heard music too. My nephew may be messing with us again. He does that. He does that.
Well, thank you all so much.
Wait till he starts jumping in our conversations.
Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to Kathy's channel, Kathy's Guided Light Tarot. And yeah, I look forward to having another live here very soon. Maybe I'll make it a weekly thing. And Kathy is more than welcome to join us whenever she would like to.
Greeter is sending prayers to everyone that needs a prayer here and in the United States. And I second on that one.
I'm sending you all my loving vibrations.
Yes, absolutely.
Love and light.
Yeah. And those
all right, everyone.
Awakening, meditation's the key.
Yes.
Helps with awakening. So I love you all. I love you, Kevin.
Yes, I love you all.
My little brother.
All right, everyone. Well, we will be. I will be back on soon. You all take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Make sure you smile real good.
I am.